Welcome, my fellow Virgos. This is going to be your reading for July 2023. Couple days late, but still in the right time, I think. This is going to be for Virgo Sun, which I am, Virgo Moon, which Sam is, a Virgo Sun and a Virgo Moon. A lot of Virgo in this house. Or Virgo rising. You could certainly have planets in the sign of Virgo. Some of you may be here checking up on a Virgo, just seeing what's going on in their lives. Whatever brought you, welcome. Let's go ahead and get right into your reading because we're going to use 4 different decks, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a reading. We are going to use the major arcanas, which you guys know I use a couple times a year, but something told me to bring them out for July. Of course, we're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom, and we're going to use the Gilded Tarot for any clarifying or to go deeper. That's really what I feel like it does. It takes us deeper, gives us those answers that we're really seeking. And for your main spread, I am going to use the Light Seers Tarot, one of my favorites. So let's just go ahead and get right into your reading. Let's start with Mother Mary. Everything is pre-shuffled, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shuffle or two. Let's give them a cut. And let's begin, Virgo. All right, Mother Mary. Virgo, 2023, July. Though time is fluid. I noticed in, how YouTube puts what they call a mixed playlist together, and really they're the ones that decide that some of my videos in there are years old, but I have to tell you that for many they resonate, so keep that in mind. That's why I say time is fluid. I feel like a reading will find you, or you'll find a reading right when you need it. Okay, we have self-respect. Self-respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Self-respect. Okay, we'll put this here. We'll read it from the book at the end. It's just where it's most profound. It always ties back to the spread. Let's go ahead and bring in the major arcana. Now, the reason why I use these is sometimes they're their own little message. I shoot for 3, but I will take whatever comes out. But really they give us like a bullet point of the reading. So let's go ahead and bring these in. Let's slide those over for a minute. Again, I'm shooting for 3, but whatever wants to come out will come out. We have the Death card of Scorpio. Death card is about closing a door so that a new door can open. Death/rebirth. Allowing oneself to have a rebirth. He's got that sickle in his hand, like he's like literally cutting something out of his life. We have Justice, card of Libra. Can represent, represent a divorce. Some of you, you may be in a marriage where you just have had enough. Now that I know is not for everyone. Justice is really about fairness, and I feel like really what it's talking about is like a door that closes and making you whole again. It's like something has been, I don't know, I get this feeling like something has been kind of like robbing your energy, like a energy vampire type energy. So this is about you coming back to wholeness. Can talk about karmic lessons. Card of Libra. I don't know if I said that. Oh, sorry about that. I just got a complaint from someone who had headphones on, which I know a lot of you have headphones on, so I try to be quiet with the cards, but can't always control that. We have the High Priestess. That's your intuition, Virgo. And I feel like, most Virgos, your intuition is really, really strong. It's just learning to trust that. I feel like this is your GPS. I'm also getting this feeling like, like the Akashic records, like there's nothing that I'm going through that someone else hasn't already been through, and that can even mean you, like in a previous life. And the ability to overcome that, I feel like that can give you a little bit of strength, just knowing that, like, there's nothing that I'm going through that either I myself haven't been through or someone hasn't been through. So, you're trusting your intuition, deciding what doors need to close so that a new door can open. I feel like when the Death card shows, it's pretty clear to me that a door needs to close, like I need to close it and lock it. And that way I'm telling the universe I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for, whatever wants to come next. Some of you're really finding this balance within yourself. And I feel like really trusting yourself as it relates to your next move, let's say. Alright, so let's move these over here, and we're going to keep all this in mind as we do the main spread. So again, the Death card, closing of a door. Justice, it may be something that was karmic, but if that's the case, then there was a lesson to learn. Or, what I feel like is many of us have come down here with karmic lessons, and they can be hard, but it's really the opportunity to clear that karma for eternity, not just this lifetime, but for every lifetime. And I feel like clearing that karma helps, not just ourselves, but even the next generation and the generation after that. All right, let's bring in the Light Seers. Give it one more shuffle. Okay, let's give them a cut. And I am going to shuffle for your cards, so let's go ahead and begin this portion. Alright, well, hello, Fool. Makes perfect sense with the Death card there. The Fool talks about taking a chance, taking a leap of faith. But on you, you're taking a leap of faith, potentially to bring something new into your life. It is about a new beginning, but I am the one who has to take that chance. And again, the High Priestess is saying, just listen to me, listen to your intuition. I won't steer you wrong. So, the Fool. And then we have the King of Cups. This can be a Scorpio. We have Scorpio on the board, Cancer, or Pisces. He looks like he's in a meditative state, almost like, maybe he's trying to manifest something. Knight of Cups. Maybe he's trying to manifest love. This is about an unexpected cup of fulfillment coming your way. I can't really plan so much for this. I mean, how can I plan for this? Well, if the Fool was your first card, it's saying that, for some of you, I feel like you're cutting ties with someone. And you really have to trust your intuition with that. And it's interesting because I feel like this king is really trying to manifest and potentially manifest you. Now, it doesn't have to be a water sign. So let's talk about this king so you understand his energy. This is someone who, in the upright, really, wants to be in a or appreciates relationships. This is someone who appreciates love. This is someone, quite opposite of us, where easily can express their emotions. I feel like this, he's thinking about entering your life. And I almost feel like, this king, now it can be male or female, by the way, but I feel like this king is wondering about you. Wondering if you're free. This may be someone you already know. Because I feel like he is trying to manifest you, and the Knight of Cups would also verify that, right? Because this is about bringing in, a cup of love. It is unexpected, but I feel like maybe when I free myself, it's like he gets, maybe from his spirit guides, like, okay, time for action, time to go after what you want. It's interesting too because I'm noticing this letter on his blanket, the red roses in his hands, but he seems patient. He seems like, almost like I'll know the right time. I feel like this king is trusting his intuition, and in the right time, it's like, I'm going to hand these flowers over to you. I may be someone who has an old letter from you. It's like I read a letter, I'm getting this feeling like, like I read this letter, or, I read a post on Facebook or social media that someone has freed themselves, and I get this feeling that this may be my perfect opportunity. Maybe I missed the opportunity before. Like I could have made my move years ago, but it didn't work out that way. So now I just feel like this king is like, I don't want to miss this opportunity again. This could be someone that you're thinking about, and it may feel random, like, wow, why am I thinking about this person all of a sudden? Well, because they're thinking about you. I also notice, let me bring the lid down, also notice the white horse, to me, means purity. But I feel like, this king really doesn't feel like he is in a rush. I do feel like if you are in a relationship, I do feel like this king is like waiting for that to end, or just so happens to see again something that tells him or her that you are now in the Fool's energy. You're ready for a new beginning. Now, it doesn't even have to mean that you are searching for love or anyone. This is just about what I feel like is on the next part of your journey. We have the Six of Swords, and then we have the High Priestess again, right under the Fool. When's the perfect time to make this change, to make this move, to take a leap? Your gut's going to let you know. Your spirit guides are going to let you know. And also, sitting next to that Knight of Cups, again, unexpected couple fulfillment. Six of Swords talks about what was. Six of Swords is mirroring the Fool. So I feel like for some of you, this is talking about potential relationship you were in that had become toxic to you. And the Six of Swords signifies you're moving away from that. And to move away from that, I feel like you have clarity. You know, think of the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is really, can talk about like someone I was with where the communication was just bad. I don't feel like it's this king, because I really feel like this king, maybe unbeknownst to you, though in a way I feel like it's like you have lived in his heart, but yet it's like I didn't want to come in, you know, and like I didn't want to come in when you were in a relationship. I didn't want to come in if you were still married. I wanted to wait till you were free. And that's what the Fool means. You know, you're free, right? You're free. The Fool doesn't let fear determine what the Fool's next steps are going to be, right? I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to trust in my guides. I'm going to trust in universal flow. Six of Swords means that you've taken that hard look at your life, because again, going back to that five talks about change. So this is someone who has made the change and who has set themselves free. Now, it doesn't have to talk about love. It just kind of feels that way. But let's keep going. We have the Devil, card of Capricorn. How he's reaching out his hand. We have, hello, Empress. I kind of love that. Some of you, you could be a single mother, or you're becoming a single mother. But I don't feel like there's a problem in that, because I feel like if that's the case, that's what you want. You know, the Empress is, it's interesting because this king may have also been like watching you from afar, and I don't mean that in a creepy way. I mean as in appreciation. And the Empress talks about how you have grown. You know, I feel like the Empress has walked the path of all the queens. So she has that wisdom. This is someone who is loving, who is nurturing, but who's become powerful and strong in her own right. You know, sitting next to the Devil, and the Devil can cast illusions, but I feel like with the Empress and the High Priestess in between, you would know, like, I feel like immediately, if, you know, trust your gut. But I do, I feel like you would know immediately. It's interesting too, because I'm looking at the Empress and she looks like she's dreaming. And this king looks almost like he's meditating, but maybe he's trying to manifest. So again, I get that feeling like all of a sudden I start thinking about someone, I don't know why, but I feel like it's because they're thinking about you. It can be telepathic communication. We have the Ten of Swords coming over or under the Six of Swords. So that makes sense, because the Six of Swords, again, we're looking at what's toxic. You know, another way we can look at this, the Ten of Swords to me is a repeat pattern of someone, or maybe everyone, kept putting daggers in my back, right? But I had to understand that I was allowing it in a way, because I feel like when I get to the 10, it's like submission. And, you know, I don't feel like that is your energy at all. Doesn't mean it didn't take a moment to figure that out. But I feel like, you know, maybe I've given someone a chance over and over and over again, and I kept getting the same results. Maybe why it's talking about self-respect. You know, it's almost like someone, well, let's, you know, if we look at the Empress, she's of a higher vibration, right? And it's because she's dared to look back at the chapters in her life and understand them and extract the wisdom, not the pain, right? I'm letting that go. Even like, you know, at the 10 Swords, I may have been in some type of repeat pattern, but don't judge yourself over that, because with the Six of Swords above it, you had that realization, and I feel like you're moving out of that. 10 of Swords mirrored by the High Priestess. So again, it's like trusting your gut. I don't think you want a repeat of what you had. I feel like you're looking for something new. something better. And then we have the Strength card. Strength card is the card of Leo. Number 8, infinity, as above, so below. You know, sometimes we don't meet the true love of our life until later in life, until we have gained the wisdom that we need. It doesn't mean that we go into, let's say this is the next relationship you're entering. It doesn't mean that I won't be fearful at all. But because the High Priestess keeps showing, it's like you're being guided, and the more you can trust that, the more you can trust yourself, and trust the energy. You know, what I love about the Empress is she doesn't need like the 8 of Swords. She doesn't need to build these walls around her. She keeps her heart open. She stays loving and nurturing. But she's learned, right? She's nobody's fool. And she doesn't judge herself for her past experiences. She learns from them. So Strength card can also talk about, because we do have the Devil here, you know, there could be something that, you know, something of a lower vibration that kind of held you down, held you back. And really the only one who could free yourself from it is you. You know, this is about self. This is about the demons within ourselves. And to me, that just means, you know, I'm trying to find the balance of light and dark, right? In the 10 of Swords, well, I've been living in the dark, but now I want to live in the light. The Empress tells me that you're ready. And for some of you, I do feel like, you know, like you're a single mom, and I feel like that's just fine with this King. Card of Leo, don't know if I said that. Let's bring these up a little bit, and let's keep going. See why this Devil is reaching out his hand. Now, again, that can be, it can just be a Capricorn for some of you. Well, but then again, we have the 7 of Swords. So, untrustworthy energy. You know, I feel like what's going on here is, it's almost like I've outgrown a relationship, right? Like I want to live a more spiritual life. I want to live a better life, and somebody else couldn't or didn't want that. You know, it's almost like someone that potentially you were with just, I don't know, this is untrustworthy energy. And coming under the Devil, you know, it could be someone who was charming, someone who was alluring, right? Like their energy allured me to them, maybe over and over again. But again, I feel like you're coming out of that. And it may be a karmic partner, you know, like it may be someone who was a karmic partner. Could have been married. But it is showing that they just don't carry trustworthy energy. And there's no way the Empress would live with that, right? But listen, you know, it's not an overnight thing to become or to vibrate in the Empress's energy. I've had to have these experiences. You know, I've had to go through the dark night of soul to understand the light. I feel like you just outgrew someone. You just outgrew them. And, you know, I feel like when our vibration raises, if someone else's doesn't, well, they're just naturally going to fall away. Now, we have to let them fall away at the same time. So, right away, I'm feeling like the Devil did cast some illusions over you. But I feel like I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. All right, let's keep going. For some of you, I feel like you're doing something of a creative nature. Now, that can be like, you know, like an online business. Because, again, I feel like this King up here it's almost like they know what's going on in your life. Maybe not the details, but you're like, I know they were with someone and now I feel like they're not. They're single. I hear about it. I read about it. Maybe it's coming from like some type of work that you do. Because the Empress, again, is very creative, but and receives a lot of epiphanies. The High Priestess right here, she gives birth to those epiphanies. She's not afraid to give something a chance, right? As the Fool, I'm going to try. I'm going to see. Again, the Empress doesn't have to create these walls around her because she trusts her own energy. I'm not going to allow whoever kept putting those daggers in my back to then shut my heart off to potential love down the road, right? Or even my own potential. I feel like who's ever in the Ten of Swords, well, I feel like it's you in the Ten of Swords, but whoever's putting those daggers in your back, it's not like they just, I do feel like an energy vampire, but I also feel like they could have stopped you from doing what it is you want to do in the world. It's like you see the light. You see the light now. So, I hate for Capricorn that I have to keep calling it the devil, but let's face it, with the Seven of Swords under it, it is untrustworthy energy. And I do feel, because he's reaching his hand out, again, it's like someone who may have not, I may have broken up with this person over and over, but they kept bringing me back, somehow I kept going back. Don't judge yourself for that, right? Because I feel like ultimately you see that, you understand that, and you do end that. I do feel like this tie, back to this person, though. And I do feel like it was hard to cut that tie. Oh, I just knocked everything over. We have the Queen of Cups. How interesting. So, again, don't worry about the sign. But we have like-minded energy here. We have the King of Cups, and now we have the Queen of Cups. And interesting that both of them feel like, it's interesting because I feel like I'm thinking about someone and I'm like, why am I thinking about them? Like why is this person in my brain all of a sudden? Now, if this is someone from, the old days, and it doesn't even have to mean that you're in a relationship with them, but it feels like, it's almost like someone who had a crush on you, but maybe you didn't know that. And then before they could announce that to you, too late, you were with someone else. And this time, I feel like it's like they don't want to let you, they don't want to let you get away this time. Now, I'm talking about the King of Cups, not the Devil, right? Because this person also may not want to let you go, but nonetheless, I feel like you go. You do leave. Definitely feel the connection between this king and the queen and the king. And then you have the Knight of Cups leading this line. So the Empress, right? I feel like she's ready. But not just for any old love. It has to be real love, right? I have to be able to trust. I've been there, done that, where I'm not going to go back into the Ten of Swords type energy. I do feel like, you've had real understanding over your past, and on a spiritual level, and I feel like whoever you were connected to, I almost feel like their spirituality was, I don't know, I'm getting this energy of soulless. Like they were just soulless, even though they may have been charming. But charming to get what they want when they wanted it, and then when they got it, they didn't treat it right. They didn't treat you right. And I often feel when this type of energy shows up, it's not even about you, you know? I mean, there could have been love, but I feel like this person will move on in their life, and who's ever next in line, same thing's going to happen. Well, I don't want it to be me. All right, let's keep going. We have the Seven of Pentacles. I kind of love seeing the Seven of Pentacles right now because, you know, I feel like this is your tree soul of intention. These are the seeds that you planted before you even came into this lifetime. You know, the experiences you wanted to have. And remember, as a soul or spiritual being, we want some of those hard lessons also, because that's really what evolves our soul. And I do feel like you've evolved, someone else has not, and naturally it just feels like it's ready to fall away, but I gotta let it fall away at the same time. This is the number 7, which 2023 is the universal year 7. So I feel like there is a special seed that is coming into fruition. And then I love 3 of Pentacles for you, because this is about bringing something to the world that is really unique to you. You know, this is believing in yourself. And I feel like also, you know, this is a very creative type energy. But sometimes I'm just putting my head down and I'm concentrating on that element in my life. And I feel like, especially for Virgo, when we are, you know, when we allow ourselves to get lost in our craft, I feel like it just opens up. It's like we just open up our energy to the universe. You know, again, I feel like this king may contact you, and I do feel like it's going to feel unexpected to you. And again, I feel like somehow this king like is realizing that you are now taking on the Fool's energy, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? You're free, you're clear, you're willing to take chances, you're willing to take a risk. Even if I've been through this type of energy, I still feel like, listen, well, if you arrived at the Empress's energy, again, you don't need those walls around you. Trust your own energy. Trust what you feel. You know, if there's red flags, you should be able to see them and notice them at this point. So, again, as I'm doing my thing, other people are appreciating what it is I do. So I don't know why, I just feel like this king, I mean, he may be may already be on one of your sites of social media, maybe have a YouTube channel, whatever it is. I feel like, you know, like they know what's going on in your life, but I do feel like I do feel like this king, you know, and maybe it's because he's in a higher vibration, almost like I don't want to be responsible to end someone's marriage or to end, you know, a relationship. I want them to be the ones who end it themselves. They want, you know, like I want you to be the one who makes that decision, not because of me, right? And why? Because I do feel like this king is, again, of a higher vibration. I feel like in the light. I do feel of a spiritual nature also. Where here, I feel more of a karmic type energy. So, I kind of love the 3 of Pentacles for Virgo. Because we are a very creative sign. And, you know, whatever you're bringing to the table, I feel like, you know, first of all, I feel like for some of you, if it wasn't because of your past experiences, maybe you wouldn't be as good as you're going to be in the 3 of Pentacles, whatever it is you're creating. And again, this feels like it's something that's already on your wheel. You like trust yourself, because others, I feel like, you know, if I'm worried, like, will others receive my work as I want it to be seen? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Some of you could certainly be talking about things that you've overcome and how you've done that and how you found balance in your own life. It's like, I feel like I want to say be proud of yourself. All right, we have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. That makes perfect sense. You know, this talks about heartache, sword after sword in my heart. But again, with the Ten of Swords here, if I expect something to change, chances are it's not. Let's see what's under it. Seven of Wands, standing up for oneself. King of Swords underneath that. Could talk about Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to. But it is a different king, so. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in the Gilded Tarot. You know, the Death card to me means more than anything right now, because it is truly the closing of one door that allows this next door to open. And again, I don't even know that you're seeking this person. I think you're seeking more of like your creative nature and kind of getting lost in that. And within that energy, I feel like it's opening yourself up to the universe. All right, let's give him a shuffle. One more. Let's give him a cut. Taking those. All right, let's begin. Well, Page of Wands, and I know you guys hear me say this all the time. I feel like the Page of Wands is the Fool's energy. You know, this is someone who is willing to take chances. You know, I feel like as a page, it means that there were times that, yes, I fell, but I got back up again. Maybe sometimes it took me longer than I had hoped, but nonetheless, I got back up again. This is someone who doesn't let fear dictate their life. Can also talk about a younger energy. And it could also talk about, you know, it's either you, but I feel like it is you. But it could also talk about someone else of a younger energy. So again, someone that I knew back in the day, can be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I feel like this is more about you taking a chance. Now all of a sudden I'm getting this feeling where this king may be someone who also has just freed himself. Again, I'm seeing him, can be her, you know, depending on your situation. Just put yourself in where it fits. If it doesn't fit, then don't force it. But nonetheless, it's almost like there's two fools here. But I mean that in a very good way. We have the Tower over this king. Interesting. And then look at this. We have the Queen. So the Queen of Cups coming over the Knight of Cups. So who's receiving this unexpected couple fulfillment? The Queen. And here she is right down here. Now, forget the sign again. This just means exactly what the Empress has learned. Like, I'm not going to harden my heart due to, you know, it's almost like this is a narcissistic type energy here between the Devil and the Seven of Swords. And, you know, I don't want to waste my life trying to change them, because I won't change them. You know, they are who they are, and that's probably why I was picking up that, you know, like if I leave them, chances are whoever follows is going to have to go through the same thing. I feel like the Tower coming over this king, I almost feel like this king, again, it's that energy of, man, like I had an opportunity, but I didn't act upon it back then. And then I lost you. But now I feel like he's finding you again. This Queen now is one step closer to the king. And right over that Knight of Cups. I feel like the Tower is old energy. You know, it's like I lost you once, I'm not going to lose you again. And I don't know why I keep picking up that you may not even know about it, or know that this person had feelings for you. It's almost like a crush. Like I had a crush on you, but for some reason I didn't let it be known, and maybe when I was ready to, it was too late. You're already with someone else. We have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, well, 5, first of all, is change. You know, 5 of Pentacles, I feel like, you know, you've been in a period of time where a lot of the energy you really could not control. And again, that may be why I'm picking up a little bit of a narcissistic type energy down here, and I can't control that. You know, the 5 of Pentacles represents that feeling of being thrown out into the cold. But because it's coming over the 6 of Swords, I almost feel like you're rebounding. Like I'm rebounding from whatever it is, whatever door I had to close, or it was time to close. And it can be a little uncomfortable, right? But that's very temporary energy. And that's really what you got to tell yourself, right? Like any towers, sometimes we're giving out those towers, but it doesn't mean that we still don't feel it. But I feel like you're rebounding very quickly, especially coming over the 6 of Swords. Also, in the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like, you know, if I allow myself to move through this energy, I really am moving towards more soulmate type energy, like-minded, and I felt that right off the bat with these two. All right. We have the 7 of Pentacles over the High Priestess. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles over the Devil. Again, can represent a Capricorn. But, you know, and I don't want to put you down if you're a Capricorn here, but the Devil is carrying the 7 of Swords energy. So, 10 of Pentacles, you know, what's some of the reasons why maybe I stayed longer than I wanted to? Because we have the 10 of Pentacles now, we have the 5 of Pentacles up here, right? So, the 10 goes into the 5. Financially, you know, maybe that was part of what kept me with someone longer. This could certainly be someone who, like, promised you the world, promised you abundance, but it didn't turn out that way. And the 7 of Pentacles coming right next to it, I feel like, you know, there were major lessons, but I feel like with those lessons are rewards. It could be someone who was living off of you also. You know, like you were supplying the 10 of Pentacles and they were taking, right? Because again, his hand is out, almost like reaching in, grabbing those pentacles that don't really belong to him. I get for someone also, this could talk about 2 people who used to work together and something may have happened. And I'm not talking about the Devil's energy, I'm talking about the King over here. Potentially it could be something that you did together, and you know, it's like, you know, coronavirus or something, where it's like split a lot of people up. And I mean like people who work together, then all of a sudden we work from home and a lot of people went to new jobs or what have you. But I do feel also that, like, if this is talking financial for some of you, I do feel like you're going to rebound. I really feel like you're going to rebound. And again, I'm feeling like the Devil's like reaching in, you know, taking what is yours and claiming it for himself. So I may have taken a little bit of a hit as it relates to, let's just say, my finances. But I feel, even before we see it, I feel like, again, you're going to rebound, and it's probably going to be better. Well, of course it's going to be better. 7 of Pentacles next to the 10 of Pentacles. You know, especially with the 3 of Pentacles down here, I feel like there's something that you're really good at, and maybe for whatever reason you were afraid to bring it to the world before. Maybe you were told that you wouldn't be successful. Again, I feel like this devil was casting illusions over you, making you think one thing when it just wasn't true. I do feel like your soul wanted to have that experience, though. Why? Because it gave you, what's the word I want to use? I feel, if nothing else, as I was going through this hard time, it caused me to seek out my spirituality. It caused me to, think about my life, and, I had to ask those tough questions. Is this what I want to stay in? It's reminding me of a relationship I was in many, many, many years ago, and it was bad, and it's one of those things where I told myself, this is not going to be me. This is not going to be my life. Though it took 5 years. 5 years for me to change that. And I didn't even think I had that power. But literally, I just packed up my bags and my children and I moved. And everything changed. And I thought to myself, like, why did I wait so long? Well, who knows? But I don't look back now with regret, because I feel like, man, I am so much stronger than I used to be. I know what I want and what I don't want. If someone's coming towards you of, like a negative type energy or lower vibration, you're going to now feel that. And I do feel like you're going to trust that. Okay. We have, hello, Knight of Pentacles. So this Empress has the Knight of Cups above her, and now she's got the Knight of Wands over her. Well, this again can be unexpected. This is passionate. This is desire. Sometimes it rushes in, and even if I think, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship, but the passion just, it's strong. It's strong. It can even feel a little chaotic, because this is energy of really rushing in. And it's interesting because the Knight of Cups, I feel like, is taking my time. Like, this person is taking their time. They're waiting till you're in the Fool's energy. And I feel like the minute you're in that Fool's energy, boom. Like, I'm not going to let you go again. Now, you ultimately have the final decision. But I can't help but feel like you're going to feel, and I feel the passion you're going to feel with this person is so different than the energy of who you were with. And then look at this, the World. Beautiful, coming over that Ten of Swords. So whatever repeat patterns there were, whatever illusions were casted, they're broken. They're broken. This is your next chapter. And I love the World's energy, because this is a very spiritual time in your life. This is when you are trusting your spirituality. Over, a lot of times when we get stuck, it's because, we're kind of lost in our humanness. But not any longer. I feel like this is you walking hand in hand with your spirituality. And because of that, first of all, I feel like it's you having more clarity within the signs that your guides send you. Because remember, your guides are always sending you signs. Doesn't mean that we receive them. We receive them, doesn't mean we pay attention to them. Because in the Ten of Swords, again, a repeat. But this time, I feel like you're paying attention to them. This time, I feel like whoever this person was no longer has a chance. I feel like, if they're trying to lure you back, it's like, no way. Like, you get it now. Like, no way. Been there, done that. This is a brand new chapter. And we have the Fool at the same breath. So that's great energy. Well, hello, Wheel. Destiny. Coming over under the Seven of Pentacles. Absolutely, it's your destiny. And again, you know, as I look back, because you do need to have clarity over your past chapters, but then you got to close the door, right? 9 is about final reflection. I'm not meant to stay in reflection for the rest of my life. I'm just going to reflect upon that chapter. I'm going to learn what I can learn from it, and I'm going to move on. You know, some of you may just be feeling that something is about to happen of a good nature. Something is coming in. You know, and coming over the Strength card. Why? Again, I feel like because you were, you know, you kept getting pulled back to someone, but now I just feel like you have clarity. So here comes this next seed. Already written in the stars, so to speak. And then look at this. Temperance. Divine timing. Patience. That's her main message. Patience. Patience, my child. But remember, sometimes divine is waiting on us to break these patterns. Right? Sometimes divine understands that these are lessons that our soul wanted to have. So their patience, or divine is having patience, right? I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to rush this in. Why? Because this that's coming in feels special. And, you know, if I'm divine and I brought it in too soon, would you see it? Would you appreciate it? I think you would appreciate it, but I feel like I just feel like there'd be issues. And this kind of feels like it's more issue-free. Divine timing. Right next to the wheel. You know, temperance to me is mixing that perfect recipe together. I feel like potentially this king and queen are soulmates. Because temperance to me is filling both cups up equally. Equal vibration. You know, sometimes you have to move forward even though you're still feeling that ache in the heart. But as you do that, I feel like, again, like here, the rebound, like you rebound very quickly. You know, once you have true realization, once you're being completely honest with yourself, someone may have taken your self-respect, but you're claiming it back. All right. This is a process. I know that. You know, I don't feel like, well, let me put it this way. I don't feel like it's an overnight thing. But in the same breath, I feel like when you're taking on that Fool's energy, and listen, it may just be talking about you bringing something to the world of a creative nature that I just feel like you're meant to, like you're just meant to. You know, and I feel like even if something just piqued my interest, this is following that. Again, it's coming over the Seven of Pentacles, so one of your seeds that your soul wanted to experience sits upon your wheel, sits upon your tree, and the world right above that. Where does it exist? In the next chapter. Now, some of you may already be in this energy, and you're just really trying to understand your past. Well, it's kind of laid out here for you. And I feel like, again, you know, someone kept putting these swords in your heart, but I feel like they are of a lower vibration. You have raised your vibration, and I feel like, you know, they haven't. So naturally it wants to fall away. Now that doesn't mean, again, that we can't be allured back, but I feel like you've been allured back enough times that now you get it. Now you understand. Doesn't feel like that person deserves your heart. But again, I don't want you to regret it. because you've learned a lot from it. Well, hello, Chariot. So the Chariot does represent 2023 also. We are in the year of the Chariot. You know, with the Strength card here, this is me trying to find inner balance in the Strength card. The Chariot would signify that you find it, because I don't feel like the Chariot shows until you're ready for the Chariot to show. The Chariot is driven by the mind, by my mind's intentions. Again, she is, well, she's got her hands up, like as above, so below, like, you know, almost like, okay, where is my soulmate? Again, I don't feel like you're searching, because it just feels like something that's naturally going to happen. But the Chariot is about unlimited potential, not just love, but also your career, also your creativity. And I do feel like some of you, like something piqued your interest and you dare to follow that, and you may have just fallen in love with something. You know, it's like tarot. Like, you know, before I started reading tarot, I knew nothing. Right? And I have to say, probably the first half of my life, I don't know that I really lived a spiritual life. And now I'm all about my spirituality. You know what I mean? Now I understand energy, and I understand that, you know, the signs are there. I know to listen to my gut. If it doesn't feel right, chances are it's not right. So this Chariot, to me, just feels like you are finding yourself, I feel like, in a beautiful place. You know, and I don't mean like literally in a place, but like I feel like energetically, and just your life, I feel like you either will be, or you're already finding yourself in a much better place than you were. Chariot says, don't put any limits on how far your creativity can go, or how far this love can go. You know, especially with the World card here, because I feel like when the World shows, whatever is added into that World's chapter, it's for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean things can't change a little bit. I want to be open, right? I want to be open to others' ideas, but I do feel like it's for the rest of your life. All right, let's keep going. We have the King of Wands. Can be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it's interesting because we have the Page of Wands here. So for some of you, this could certainly be talking about, again, I feel like this King, maybe it was once the Page. Feels like he missed out. I should have taken my chance back then, but I didn't. But now, because you have freed yourself, this Page is now matured, grown, and the Knight of Wands is connected to this King. It's also sitting on your tree of life. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Well, there's your reflection. You know, I feel like 9 is a singular number. You know, like this is like where I'm not attached to anyone else. But this speaks about looking back and understanding, you know, sometimes like we're in a period of time when there were just a lot of responsibilities. But also the Knight of Wands wants you to look at your own responsibility within a situation. And again, not in a judgmental way. Just in, again, like someone who kept luring me back. Now I can see it. Now I understand it. And now I'm ready to close the door to it. Interesting. Okay, there's a couple things I want to look at. Actually, what I think I want to do, because I kind of want to get this, what I feel is like a narcissistic type energy, I want to get it off my table. So I think I'm going to take the King and the Queen, the Knight of Cups. I mean, you have the Wheel over and over again. The World, the next chapter. So we know this is not something This is something new. Even if it's with someone that I already know. But for some reason, I'm picking up the chances are you weren't in a relationship, because again, I just get this feeling like someone had a crush on you. Someone wishes they would have stepped forward. And again, once I hear that you're free, it's like, this is my chance. This is my opportunity, and I'm not going to blow it. I'm not going to blow it. So let's pick this up. We'll keep it all in mind. And let's look at them. It's like they're both filling each other before they even see each other, both wearing a key. Let's use a different deck to clarify. Let's use the Crystal Vision. Give it a few shuffles. And we're just going to kind of surround this energy so we can better understand it. Someone may have an old letter that you wrote to them. Could be a new letter. They have a cup. The king has a cup. And the queen has a cup. I definitely feel this is soulmate energy. Okay. Let's just kind of surround it. We'll start on the king's side and we'll go around it. We have the Ten of Wands, but look at this. Came in reverse. Ten of Wands, first of all, in the upright, is a period of time of heavy responsibilities. You know, this king could have ended a relationship himself, ended a marriage, you know, and again, it almost feels like two people who have a tendency to put like the brunt of the responsibility on their shoulders. You know, I feel like in the Ten of Wands energy, I'm secretly or subconsciously hoping for a tower, right? It may be that narcissistic energy that I had a very hard time ending, and somehow the universe is like, well, we're going to help end that for you. Now that's in reverse. So I feel like that period is coming to an end. You may find that you have similar experiences. We have Judgment. It is in reverse though. So Judgment is a call to the present moment. It is about allowing oneself to have a rebirth. And I feel like why is it in reverse? Because maybe this is what I need to do. I need to bring myself to the present moment. I need to let the past be the past. Right? That Ten of Wands in reverse, you know, either that king has ended that chapter, but I also feel like it's you. Now I need to bring myself to the present moment. That's your spiritual team. Page of Cups. Love. Interesting coming over this King of Cups. Again, can speak about younger energy. You know, I feel like due to the hardships and maybe even the lies that I've been told and, you know, untruths and all that, like I had to find myself again, right? Self-respect again. I had to learn to love myself again. Someone could have like just filled your head, and I know this energy, filled your head with untruths. And a lot of times those type of people, it's due to envy, right? It's due to envy. Like, if I can't have you, I don't want anyone to have you. Or, I don't want you to be successful because that may take you away from me, but in a selfish type of way. This is you coming back to you. Could speak about young love. We have the Unknown card. Interesting, coming over this Knight of Cups. I feel like that's why Judgment's in reverse, because this really is the High Priestess, but her crystal ball is clouded, so she can't see the future, but maybe she's not meant to, because that Knight of Cups is unexpected. Now, in the same breath, I want to say this could be your spiritual team saying, come to the present moment, because we're going to help guide you through the uncertainty. But I definitely feel like you need to tell yourself that you deserve love, and I mean of a high vibration. We have the Five of Swords. Interesting. And now we have the Six of Cups, so that kind of verifies what I was feeling. This is someone of, let's just say, back in the day. This is someone that I would have good memories about, maybe even treasured memories about. It's almost like we were kids. But again, I feel like this king didn't take the chance that he wished he had. But he's going to rectify that now. Five of Swords coming over the Queen. It's interesting because, again, I feel like both these people here have had similar experiences. Now, this king may be someone who, it's like, I was raising my family. It's hard, if the kids aren't grown, it's hard to walk away from that. That type of thing. And potentially they didn't, It's like when the timing was right, the timing was right. Five of Swords, this is the Queen having that realization of what's been toxic to her in her life. Six of Cups just makes perfect sense. Alright, let's keep going. Let's go right below. We have the Five of Wands. Well, we go from the Ten of Wands to the Five of Wands. So again, it feels like someone freed themselves. Five of Wands is really battling type energy, but there is no victor in that energy. Like, nobody wins. No one backs down. Interesting that they're both right by a 5. So I feel like both of them have made changes. Both of them have gone through some hardships, but both of them are coming out the other end, or coming out in the light. And again, I feel like these two people, they're thinking of each other. And these are good memories in the Six of Cups. Certainly can talk about childhood, but it can be later than that, right? We got pages, talk about someone I went to school with. For some of you, I feel like someone was in my neighborhood. Wow, now we have 2 pages. Page of Cups and a Page of Wands. Second time we've seen the Page of Wands. Now, I know you're Earth, but many of you know how I read, right? I look at the sign, and yes, it can be that sign, but then I let that go, and I look at the energy, because I feel like we are, if we're female, we are all queens, we are all kings, if we evolved, we've lived the life of the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, all that. This is the full energy again to me. This is someone who's going to take a chance in what? I think love. Dang it, the devil again. And then the Ace of Swords. So this is giving us a clue of how this may come about through the line of communication. Again, it can be a phone call, it can be a text. And I feel like the Unknown card with the devil down here, again, it can be Capricorn for some of you. Now, this may be a different Capricorn. You know what I mean? Maybe I was with someone who, carried the devil's energy. And this could literally be a Capricorn for some of you. I don't want to take that away from you. But the Unknown card is just, I feel like, first of all, it would signify that I don't want a repeat of what was. And I don't feel like it's with this person. I feel like it's with that past person. I don't want a repeat of that. So your spiritual team is saying you need to pay attention to the signs that we're sending you. Because we won't lead you astray. Now, for some of you, it could also signify, like, as this king moves forward, maybe that person from the past tries one more time, but I feel like you evolved too much to even, I just feel like you won't even consider it. You won't even consider it. So I feel like communication, when after this change, right, the Five of Swords, change, right, this queen has the realization of who and what has been toxic to her, so makes that change. And I feel like this king also has made a change in his life. I don't know why I left the Six of Cups hanging there by itself. Let's go right above it and right below it. Two of Wands. Beautiful. The next path. Two of Wands to me is a great path to start down. First of all, we had the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, right? So unexpected cup of fulfillment, but it's filled with passion and desire. That's what the Two of Wands would speak about. The Two of Wands is about taking a chance on this next journey, and not allowing fear to have any say-so in it. This is me following what I feel. But now I feel like you can trust yourself. Well, hello, there's that Knight of Wands again. Right under the Six of Cups. I feel like this king is taking a chance. Maybe doesn't know how you're going to receive him, but I do feel like you're going to receive him well. Like if I'm him, I'm thinking like, I let her get away. But yet somehow I feel like he or she is, maybe like on your Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and like you may be posting that, your status may have gone from couple to single, and I feel like they've received that, where maybe their spirit guides point them in that direction, and I feel like once they see that, they're in action. They want to move towards you. Now, I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to move towards you in a over aggressive type way, but I do feel like as soon as this starts to enter your life, it just brings out the passion within you. This feels like it's going to be a very passionate type relationship. It feels different than what was. This feels, because again, the Six of Cups tells me that there's happy memories about this person. The Two of Wands is the willingness to begin the next journey, and the Knight of Wands is telling you what the journey is about: passion and desire and action. I just feel like this king is going to be so happy even if you just step into it. It doesn't mean like I'm going to make a commitment to you right away, but you know what? Maybe I will talk to you on the phone. I get that feeling of like, like flirty text and passionate phone calls. And maybe it begins in that way, right? It's like maybe we live at a distance from each other. So first it starts through the art of communication, and then that communication feels like it just opens up the passion, like the passion gates open up for you, for both of you. I feel like, what was is over, if I allow it. And I feel like as I move forward, I need to turn judgment around. I need to move into that present moment, and I need to trust the signs. Judgment is being mirrored by the Two of Wands, so I feel like your spiritual team is definitely behind this next move, this next person. Doesn't mean that you are. Doesn't mean that you get it yet, right? Because again, in the Unknown card, her crystal ball, it's clouded. Why? Well, if we look down, because of the devil. So that is energy that, I have to overcome. But you do. You do. Okay, I'm still not ready to let it go. I don't know why, but I feel like let's just go right through the middle here now. I think because Judgment's in reverse, I would like it to flip around for you. The Chariot. Card of Cancer. I don't know if I said that last time when the Chariot came up, but again, I feel like this is signifying this year. Like, when in the Unknown card, I don't know. Knight of Cups, unexpected. Chariot would kind of pinpoint it for us this year. Maybe the communication starts in July, and who knows what's going to happen after that. Well, I kind of feel like I do. It's interesting because I do feel like this is soulmate energy, and I feel like both had to find that balance. Both had to understand, and I feel like this king is definitely using his power of intention to help manifest what he once lost, and that is you. Now, it can be the other way around. Remember that. Maybe you hear someone who just became single. Take a chance, right? Even if you're rejected, it's better to take the chance and know than to just keep it in your heart and wonder and wonder and wonder. Okay, keep going. Seven of Wands. I almost don't want to cover up the King. It's funny, I get the feeling that this King could be an attorney. I have a feeling this King is doing something. I'm saying an attorney, but I feel like this King is helping other people to overcome. And I have a feeling you are also, but it may be in different arenas. But I do feel like this King is helping others to learn to stand up for themselves. This may be a lesson this King is going to help you with, or vice versa, but I kind of feel like it's more the King helping you. Standing your ground, gaining back your self-respect. We have the Queen of Pentacles. She came in reverse. Can be you. Another Virgo. Sitting over Capricorn. Or Taurus. Doesn't have to be any of that. Because with the Queen of Pentacles, what's her specialty? Her specialty is, reading between the lines. She's someone who can pick up those details that other people miss. I often feel many Virgos are tarot readers. Why? Because we allow ourselves to, we listen to our intuition. And we allow ourselves to be guided by it. The Star. The Star. This is about your hopes and your dreams and your wishes. Maybe you're secretly wishing for this person. And if that's the case, here they come. You know, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles, I do feel like it's you. Now, it can signify, again, Capricorn, another Virgo, or a Taurus. But I feel like it's more you. And I also feel like, you know, this king has, you know, it's not just about loving you. I feel like there's a soul purpose to this king. And I feel like this king is helping you to regain, you know, those areas that were lost within you. You know, those special, the uniqueness about you, where other people may have put you down because of it. This king's going to love you because of it. But you got to love yourself also. You know, you got to know that you have, you know, this special way about you. The star. With the Ace of Swords underneath it. So even if I don't know that I want this king to contact me, I feel at least subconsciously you do. And that could be your soul speaking. I kind of love seeing this. And let's take one more. That is the card of Aquarius also. Okay, we're going to take a little bit more than one, but we're going to take them. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the King of Swords. And then we have the Sun. So, first of all, I love seeing the Sun because first it can be a card of Leo, or it's Leo's ruler. But when the Sun shows up in your reading, it means that everything will be illuminated to you. You do have to pay attention though, right? I get this feeling that some of you, this is about someone, you know, you may have been childhood friends. This is really bringing out that inner child and living from the inner child. You know, allowing exciting things to happen. Allowing that passion to penetrate you somewhat, right? Seven of Cups over here, though, you know, it can be, it does put the ball in your court. Like, it's up to you whether you accept it or not. Now, I feel like if there's a reason why I wouldn't, I have to go back down to this king here. I don't want what I had. Like, I never want to go back to that type of energy. So pay attention to your intuition. If there's red flags, your guides will send them to you. If you feel like you missed a sign, ask for it to come back again. Send me a bigger sign. Send me something so, you know, I don't know if you can ever have 100% certainty, because sometimes we just have to take a chance. But the Sun does exactly what you asked for, to illuminate this person. Also tells me that this person is coming from the light, where I feel like this king, more the King of Darkness. I feel like the King of Cups is helping to flip you around, to flip you back into your original. You know, it's like this king, I feel like he just appreciates you. I do feel like you know this person, because I feel like they appreciate your uniqueness. They appreciate every part of you. Even the parts, like, especially with this Queen in reverse, you know, I may not come to the table completely healed, but I feel like this king may be helping you also. You know, let's say that you do say yes to the King of Cups, who's bringing in this cup of fulfillment. And let's say this old king raises his ugly head again. Well, I feel like the King of Cups is going to help defend you. Interesting. I do. I feel like he's going to help defend you. He's going to help you gain that self-respect back. You know, sometimes if this is a narcissistic type energy, they can be overbearing. But I feel like as I move into this relationship, It's almost like I can step back, and because I feel like this king would protect you. Protect you to his dying breath. Interesting that we have, again, the unknown card, that cloudy crystal ball, but then the sun. So the sun's going to illuminate everything. You have to trust it, but it is going to illuminate. And I do feel like it is bringing you right back to your inner child, and that feels good. Okay, I was going to stop there, but I feel like let's just finish that. Whoa, okay. We're not going to take all those. But I am going to take, look at this, the Four of Swords, healing. You know, sometimes we feel like we need to be completely healed before we allow ourselves to love again. But really, sometimes there's someone out there that can help you heal that past. I feel like their words, their demeanor, and how potentially they're going to love you is going to help you heal those last broken pieces. One more. Just because we had so many come out, I want to make sure that whatever wanted to come out comes out, but not in that kind of, not that many cards. Six of Pentacles. That's balance. You know, that is the fine art of give and take. Feel like you were the giver, another was taking. But no longer. This is a very generous type energy also. I really love this energy. Like, I really feel like this is your person. We have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Three of Pentacles again. Okay, so I feel like also, you know, it's like I have certain dreams that I wanted to fulfill, but for whatever the reason, maybe I wasn't able to, or again, maybe I stopped trusting myself because of someone else. I feel like as you move into, or at least let's just say with conversation, because I feel like this begins with conversation. And I feel like it may start with like a text or a social post, but I feel like very quickly it'll move to the phone. So you're hearing each other's voice. I feel like that is helping to heal those last broken pieces. And by the way, you may be doing the same for him or her. You know, this is definitely showing me in the Four Cups that you were discontent with your, let's just say, previous cycle. And I feel like this could be great energy of collaboration too. You know, collaborating the two of you. Maybe something you decide to bring to the world together. Or I feel like, you know, even if that doesn't happen, I feel like the support system that you will have, you know, like, hey, you know, I love everything about you. I love I love your unique self. I don't want you to change, right? And those broken pieces, I'm here to help you. You know, I feel like this person, like I feel like I've been with someone who was just negative, 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 and I feel like now this person is very positive, especially towards you. Virgo, this feels like a great love story. It's almost like, but how could I, like, because of what I have been through, man, do I appreciate what I now am walking into. And I get that energy too. You know, sometimes, again, it is later in our life where we find the love of our life. But sometimes it's because we, as a soul, wanted to have certain experiences, wanted to evolve. Now, as we're going through that, we may not feel that, right? We may just think my life sucks. But when we start thinking about our spiritual being, and we remember we're here having human experiences, but ultimately, we are a spiritual being. The strength and the power within that. The strength and the power. This just feels quite beautiful. All right, I'm going to read self-respect. I don't know what Sam's doing out there. Keep hearing a little bit of banging. All right. Mother Mary deeply cares for you, your welfare, and your happiness. She asked you to respect yourself enough to take good care of yourself. Remember that you're God's child and creation. By respecting yourself, you are honoring God. The answer to your present question lies within another question. Which path would be most respectful of me and make me feel the best about myself? Self-respect increases when your actions are aligned with your true belief. This card asks you to stop doing anything that makes you feel ashamed or guilty, and to focus all of your attention upon that which makes you proud to be you. And that's what I feel like this king is helping you with. Making you feel proud to be you again. Whatever was robbed, taken, it's going to be replaced tenfold. Now, you do have to remember that you have to break that cycle, right? I don't feel like anyone can break it for you, because I feel like it's part of what your soul wanted to learn. You know, I feel like as you move into this energy and you look back, man, it just feels like night and day. Sometimes I know it sounds too good to be true, but don't forget about, like we look at all the beautiful cards and sometimes we kind of, want to skip over the harder cards. But it is those harder lessons that get us to ultimately what I feel like is a beautiful blessing. And I feel like this is for the rest of your life. So whether that means marriage or partnership, whatever it is, I feel like this is talking about for the rest of your life, and not just love. I feel like also within your creative house. And I also feel great collaboration if that's what you choose. If you're stuck right now, let's say in your life, and you do feel discontent in it, sometimes I feel like getting into your creative house will help move you out of that. But you do, ultimately it is you who has to take that action. I feel like this king is just waiting, and I do feel like I let you get away once. I can't do that again. And when I say get away, I just mean that maybe they didn't have the confidence at that time to express the way that they felt. But I feel like you have lived in their heart, no doubt. You have lived in their heart. And maybe they lived in your heart. And again, who am I talking about? Well, it may be someone that out of the blue you just start thinking about. I do feel like this relationship, if you allow it to go there, I do feel like it's going to start again, it may be text, but then I feel like it's going to move to the phone. And I feel like those phone conversations are really where you're healing. Again, healing those last broken pieces. And I feel like this king is going to build you up, not rip you down. So that alone should help you. Now I know for some of you it's like, yeah, but that's what I thought with the last person. Well, we have the Two of Wands, so maybe I take it step by step. And maybe that's why it starts on the phone. Maybe, that's how mine did. We spent 5 years talking on the phone. But we just worked through every issue over the phone. It was just amazing, really, when I look back. I know it was meant to be that way. And now we're in union. So, and I'm a Virgo. And he's a Virgo. So why can't it be for you also? Death card. Close the doors that need to be closed. Trust your intuition with that. Cutting those ties. Some of them are karmic. Understand that. It just means that you have an opportunity to learn from that and learn it for eternity. Some of you, I feel like, even like cutting those ties, if I have children, and they're watching, they're watching my life. I don't want them to go through what I've gone through. So sometimes then they see this, right? Then they see this type of love. So what you're doing is helping them to understand the difference, right? That there is true love, and love doesn't have to hurt. So, you're not just cutting it for yourself, you're helping them and future generations. All right, I'm going to leave it there. This was probably really long, but I always get lost in our reading. I love you guys. I thank you for everything. I won't even go into details. I just love you. I thank you. And I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.